For decades, humanity viewed aging as an accumulation of wear and tear, similar to a machine breaking down. However, in 2026, the scientific consensus has shifted toward the information theory of aging, a concept championed by researchers at Harvard Medical School. This theory suggests that our cells don't lose their blueprint, they lose the ability to read it. Think of your DNA as a digital compact disc, and aging as scratches on the surface that prevent the laser from reading the music. Recent data shared by leading genomic scientists on X, formerly Twitter, indicates that through epigenetic reprogramming, we can now polish those scratches. By utilizing Yamanaka factors and chemical compounds that influence the epigenome, we are moving beyond just slowing age. We are now entering an era where we can reset the cellular clock. This paragraph explores the transition from chronological tracking to biological monitoring using 2026 standard epigenetic clocks like the Grimm age or Dunedin pace, which analyze DNA methylation patterns to provide a terrifyingly accurate speedometer of how fast you are aging compared to the average population. Understanding this information loss is the first step in the protocol, shifting the focus from treating age-related diseases to maintaining the integrity of the cellular software itself, like mTOR and AMPK, dictates cellular life or death. On professional longevity forums and X-based research hubs, the 2026 data suggests that simple intermittent fasting isn't enough. We now look at timed protein restriction to trigger deep macroautophagy. When we deprive the body of external nutrients, specifically certain amino acids, the cells are forced to survive by consuming their own trash, misfolded proteins and damaged mitochondria that are the hallmarks of Alzheimer's and Parkinson's. This isn't just about weight loss, it's a structural renovation. We examine the molecular triggers that shift the body from an anabolic growth state, which accelerates aging, to a catabolic repair state. By strategically cycling between these states, a protocol known as metabolic shifting, we can maintain muscle mass while ensuring our cells remain pristine and free of the toxic protein buildup that typically defines the aging human body. Energy is the currency of life, and in 2026, we've realized that aging is essentially a power failure at the cellular level. Every function in your body, from your heart beating to your brain forming a thought, requires ATP, produced by your mitochondria. As we age, the communication between the cell nucleus and the mitochondria breaks down, largely due to the depletion of NAD+. Detailed research from the National Institutes of Health, NIH, and recent preprints shared by biohackers on X emphasize the concept of NAD+ flux, not just how much you have, but how efficiently your body recycles it. We dive deep into the 2026 breakthroughs regarding NMN and NR precursors, combined with CD38 inhibitors that prevent the leakage of this vital coenzyme. Furthermore, we look at mitochondrial biogenesis, the creation of new power plants through Zone 2 aerobic training and thermal stress, saunas and cold plunges. By optimizing the electronic transport chain within your mitochondria, you can effectively possess the energy profile of a 25-year-old while being in your 50s. This section breaks down the precise supplementation and physical stress required to keep your cellular power plants running at maximum voltage, preventing the metabolic decline that leads to chronic fatigue and organ failure. The most radical advancement in the 2026 longevity protocol is the emergence of senolytics. These are a class of compounds designed to target and eliminate senescent cells, cells that have stopped dividing due to damage but refuse to undergo programmed cell death. Instead, they remain in the body, secreting a senescence-associated secretory phenotype, SASP, a toxic cocktail of inflammatory signals that turns healthy neighboring cells into zombies. Data from the Mayo Clinic and the Buck Institute for Research on Aging confirms that the accumulation of these zombie cells is a primary driver of systemic inflammation, often called inflammaging. In this paragraph, We explore the 2026 clinical results of hit-and-run senolytic therapy, using substances like dasatinib and fisetin to periodically clear the body of these inflammatory burdens. We analyze how clearing just 10% of these senescent cells can lead to a 30% increase in healthy lifespan in animal models, and why this is now becoming the holy grail for human longevity. This is about removing the brakes on your body's regenerative capacity, allowing your stem cells to finally repair tissues without the interference of chronic inflammatory noise from the past. Your DNA undergoes up to 1 million individual lesions per cell per day. The difference between a 20-year-old and an 80-year-old is how many of those lesions are repaired versus how many are ignored. In 2026, our focus has shifted to the sirtuin family, 7 specialized proteins that act as the guardians of the genome. Based on research from the University of Pennsylvania and frequent updates from the global longevity community on X, we now know that sirtuins require NAD+ to function. When sirtuins are active, they repair DNA breaks and keep our genes silenced in their correct positions. However, when they are overwhelmed by too much damage or low fuel, our genes start to drift, leading to cellular identity loss. Skin cells acting like heart cells, for example. We discuss the sirtuin activation protocol, which includes specific polyphenols like trans-resveratrol and pisiatanol, alongside environmental triggers like cold shock proteins. By bolstering the body's innate DNA repair machinery, we aren't just preventing cancer, we are preserving the very essence of our biological identity at a molecular level, ensuring that our digital code remains error-free for decades longer than previously thought possible. It isn't about a single pill or a single workout. It's about the synergy of systems. We are now in the age of precision longevity, where AI-driven platforms analyze our blood work, continuous glucose monitors, CGM, and sleep data in real time to adjust our protocol daily. According to the latest trends on X and data from Silicon Valley health tech hubs, the 2026 centenarian isn't just lucky, they are data-driven. We explore the psychological aspect of longevity, how chronic cortisol and stress hormones can undo years of perfect dieting. We look at the blue zones data combined with modern tech, showing that social connection and a sense of purpose, ikigai, are as vital for telomere length as any supplement. This section concludes by synthesizing all previous pillars into a daily routine. Managing light cycles for circadian health, utilizing AI to track biological age fluctuations, and maintaining a mindset of aggressive prevention. We are the first generation in human history that has the tools to decide how fast we age. The protocol is ready, the science is proven, and the choice to live a 120-year high-performance life is now entirely in your hands.